Hi, welcome back to Faith Series. This week we'll be talking about Moses. Moses was one of the major figures during Old Testament times. He grew up in Pharaoh's palace. He also wrote few books in the Bible, which was considered Word of God by God's people for many years. When we look at Moses' life, he also had many similarities with Jesus. Moses grew up in a palace, and he came down to serve God's people, the Israelites. Jesus was in heaven. He came down to serve all of us. Moses saved the Israelites from the slavery in Egypt. Jesus saved us from our slavery, from our own sins. Moses gave the Old Testament covenant. Jesus gave the New Testament covenant. So there are many similarities between both of them, but we are not going to talk much about it. We are going to talk about the great quality Moses had, that he was able to change himself radically. He had an interaction with God. That encounter with God changed him. So let us see that part in the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 10. It says here, Moses said to the Lord, "Pardon your servant, Lord. I have never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and tongue." So here we see God is persuading him to bring the Israelites out of Egypt. And Moses is telling God, "God, I am not a person who can speak well. I am not an eloquent speaker." So in fact, he is actually telling God, "Please give this responsibility to somebody else, not to me." And another incident we see, before Moses running away from the palace of Pharaoh, he killed an Egyptian. He was a killer. But in Numbers chapter 12 verse 3, Bible says, Moses was the most humble man on earth. So look at this radical change in him. From a person who was not able to speak, he became a person who led millions of people out of Egypt. From a killer, he radically changed to become a humble man. In fact, the most humble man on earth. I'm sure God's interaction with him must have changed his life. His faith must have played a big role. And at the same time, I believe he must have had to make a lot of effort to change. We know when we have to change any of our weaknesses, it is not easy. Some of us, we are still struggling with some of the weaknesses we had decades ago. We are still struggling. So we know it is not easy. And I'm sure this was the same with Moses. But he allowed God to change his life. He allowed God to change his personality, change his character. So today, how about us? Are we allowing God to change our life, change our character, change our personality? Are we willing to make that effort? Just like Moses did. I think this is the lesson we can learn from Moses' life, where we allow God to work in our life and change our character and mold us. So let us take the decision to learn this lesson from Moses. Hope you learned something today. Next week, we will be learning from the life of Joshua. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you.